What up, pimps? The Brewski here today, and I wanted to come on and show you guys my comic book collection slash room tour. Um, so yeah, we're just gonna go down the list here, and this top shelf here are kind of my like odd and ends books, some novels mixed in, and just weirder shaped novels that I don't know. I couldn't necessarily fit on the other shelves, and I just think they look weird. So I stuck all those weird ones up here. Um, so the first one we have is The Impending Blindness by Billy Scott by Zoe Thorogood. Really good book, highly recommend. Then we have In by Will McPhail. And then we have Understanding Comics and Making Comics by Scott McCloud. Now, if you have any interest in making comic books ever, or I guess understanding the page layout, panels, and whatnot, I would highly recommend Understanding Comics. And then we have Mouse by Art Spiegelman. I actually got to see Art Spiegelman and Neil Gaiman speak in the springtime. Now, that was before Neil Gaiman got canceled. But yeah, that was kind of cool. And then we have Good Omens by Neil Gaiman. I did not like that book a whole lot. I thought it was okay. Like I was, I guess, let down. Then we have The Disaster Artist. That follows the famous horrible movie The Room. Really good book. Then we have Did You Hear What Ed Gein Done? I read that right before Halloween, and I thought that was such a fun, spooky read. It's super disturbing though, so if you're not good with like true crime, serial killer stuff, definitely do not read that. Um, and then we have Superman Smashes the Klan. Um, Really good book. Definitely more for a younger audience, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was great. And then we have Dragon Hoops. That's also, I guess, kind of geared towards a younger audience, but I had a lot of fun with it. And then we have Uzumaki. Definitely not for a younger audience. Um, I have not read that one actually. Yeah, that was kind of an impulse buy. I bought it beginning of October, and I don't know. I just never got around to reading it. Let's see here. Then we have a yearbook by Seth Rogen. Um, that was a wicked fun read. Just kind of a memoir book. We have Branded by my one of my best friends, Rain. I would recommend that book. That was a lot of fun. Good comics for bad people. Really quick but enjoyable read. Then we have I'm a bit of a history buff. I do like history. We have A Little History of the United States. Have not finished that, but I enjoyed it. Then we have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. That is actually, I believe, turning into a movie, so that'll be exciting. And then we have A People's History of the United States. I have not read that one either. That one's super dense. It reads more like a textbook, so I was on vacation when I got that, and it's not the best vacation read. Um, and then we have Retrain Your Anxious Brain. I have anxiety. Spoiler alert. I have not finished that one. And then we have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. I have not finished that one either. And then let's go on to the next shelf here. We have my Marvel trade paperbacks, and then also independent trade paperbacks, and then also some deluxe editions here. So starting with the Marvel section, we have Marvels by Kurt Busiek, illustrated by Alex Ross. Definitely check it out. I think it's a great read, especially for new readers. Into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Comic Universe, I guess. And the artwork's just fantastic. And I actually own that in a different format I'll talk about in a bit here. Wolverine, Old Man Logan. That's kind of what Logan was based off of a little bit. This is definitely more of a comic booky feel to it. Like there's like Hawkeye, Hulk, a lot more comic book characters into it. And that was a lot of fun. Civil War. I mean, one of the great event books, I guess, for Marvel. A lot of fun. Then we have X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. Have not read that. I haven't really read X-Men. I only own one other X-Men book, which is Days of Future Past, which I also haven't read. And so I don't know if X-Men by Jonathan Hickman's a great place to start. And then we have The Immortal Hulk. I think I read that one. I do want to read more of it. So I might buy the omnibus eventually. I'm not too sure. And then we have Fantastic Four by Slott. I don't think I read that one either. And then we have X-Men Days of Future Past. started to read it, and I don't know, I just could not get into it. It reads differently in my opinion than from a modern book. Earth X, really enjoyed this one. I would like to get the omnibus. I don't know if it's in print anymore though. And yeah, I was really surprised by that. Marvel Zombies, that's another one where I read it and I had so much fun with it, and I was surprised by it. Spider-Man Life Story by Chip Zdarsky. Um, that's a lot of fun. That's about if Spider-Man aged in real time. So he was a teenager in the 60s and then his 20s in the 70s and so forth up into the modern age. And like I said, he ages with real time. So that was pretty good. Then we have Incognito by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, my favorite comic book duo ever. Um, that's I mean, if you like Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips together, you'll love Incognito. A lot of fun. On the Stump, that was a recommendation um, from Illuminati. I saw that in his video and I said that's pretty cool. I read that right around the election this year, and I enjoyed it. And then we have Bird King, really fun fantasy book. The artwork is just amazing. I believe there's a deluxe coming out eventually, and so I'm kind of waiting to buy. I think there's two other trade paperbacks, but I'd rather just collect it all at once. Harrow County. Um, I read this a couple years ago. I don't remember much about it. I do remember enjoying it though, and I know there's that big, oversized hardcover omnibus that collects the entire run. So I don't know if I'll get that. It seems a bit overkill, but I did enjoy it. Middle West by Scotty Young. Um, yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's definitely a heartfelt book too. And then we have I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young. That was a lot of fun. Just read that recently, and I do think I want to get the deluxe hardcovers of those. Four Kids Walk into a Bank. This book is so freaking good. I think it's being adapted into a TV show or movie. Such a fun read. Such a fun read. Bodies. I did not finish Bodies. I did not enjoy it. I will give it another try eventually, but I don't know. Just didn't do it for me. Yeah, I don't know. Day Tripper, a really good book. Highly recommend it. Then we have Year Zero One and Year Zero Two. That's a really fun zombie book, and for a genre like zombies that is so overplayed, kind of has a unique twist on it, and I would recommend checking it out. Really good book. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr by Ram V. Really fun. The artwork's great. Then we have Low by Rick Remender. Read that a few years ago now, and I enjoyed it. I upgraded, which we'll get to in a second here. And then we have We Live, Extinction Day. That was a fun book. Had a fun twist at the end. Have not read any of the the rest of the series yet though. Silver Coin. I enjoyed it. Fun horror anthology series. Don't necessarily need to collect the rest of it or read it. I might eventually, especially if it gets collected in like a nice image hardcover. Monstrous. I don't know. I did not love this book. I've tried to give it a shot a few times, and each time I'm just not into it. I've not written it off yet though. I will try to read it eventually, or read it again eventually. The Fade Out by Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. If you like old timey, 20s, 30s Hollywood, you'll definitely like this book. Crime noir. I would say it's very reminiscent of like Chinatown. So if you like Chinatown, you'll definitely dig that book. Fatale. Similar, if you like Chinatown, I would say you like that. I feel like it's a similar setting. But with Fatale, it has a kind of a H.P. Lovecraft twist on it. And actually, I did not like that one a whole lot. Maybe I'll give it another shot, though. Kill or Be Killed. I love Kill or Be Killed. That, to me, is like one of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' best work together. Um, it's self-contained. It's collected in those four trade paperbacks. Highly recommend it. The Seeds, I did not enjoy The Seeds at all. That was a recommendation from a friend, and I guess I kind of like the artwork, but the story, I just thought it was so boring and dry. Not for me. I'm not. I guess if you kind of like the artsy fartsy, in my opinion, books, maybe you'll like it, but it's just not my type of book. Night Fever, it was good. Nothing standoutish, I guess, about it. But I guess more of the same from Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Reckless, have not read this. I guess I'm just kind of waiting until I'm able to buy the rest, and then I just want to read them all at once. Where the Body Was, I would say I liked it more than Night Fever. It's a fun book, yeah. The Nice House on the Lake, I really enjoyed this. This is by James Tiny Onion. I would highly recommend that one. That one's a wicked fun book. And then we have one of my favorite series, Something is Killing the Children, Volume 1 and 2, the Slip Case Edition. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, such a great book. And then we have Low, which I have not read that yet. I read the trade paperback and I upgraded it. Have not got around to buying the second one either. Okay, so next shelf we have our absolutes, and then we also have the super big Marvels edition. So we have Preacher, which I own all the trade paperbacks, which I'll get to in a sec here. Really dug that. That was a lot of fun. Then we have Absolute, The Long Halloween. I mean, it's definitely up there in one of my top Batman stories. I just reread it recently, and I don't know. I read Hush, and I liked Hush so much more. But Long Halloween, the artwork, I really love, so it's good. Then we got Hush. This book, this copy of it, it's kind of falling apart. So if they ever reprint it, or if I can find a good deal on like a sealed one, I may upgrade it because that one's definitely falling apart. We have another copy of Day Tripper by Absolute. Have not read this version of it. I've read Day Tripper, but I have not read the Absolute. And then we have Berserk. That was another, I guess, impulse buy. I don't regret it. I have not read it, but I am excited to jump into it, and I got it on sale. So, I'm excited. And then, we have this hulking book. This is the biggest book I own. I think it's the biggest book I'll ever own. It's the Marvels Platinum Edition. I got it for a good deal from OmniDog, another YouTuber shout out. Alex Ross's artwork blown up like that is just gorgeous. I think it's very out of print, but if you can get it, I guess get it, And then we have my beautiful kitty cat, Luna, who passed away, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago now. She's like my favorite cat ever. All right, next up we have, I'm going to kneel down here. Next we have DC, trade paperbacks and whatnot. So we have the New Frontier. I did not love the New Frontier. I do plan on rereading it eventually though, but I don't know. Then we have Justice. I enjoyed this book actually. Probably my favorite Justice League book that I've read so far. Superman for All Seasons. I don't know. I just don't think I'm the biggest Superman fan. By Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. So I don't know. It was good. Killing Joke by Alan Moore. I don't know. It's super disturbing. I remember reading it and enjoying it, but I don't know. I don't have any desire to reread it. Before Watchmen, I remember being kind of blown away by that. I guess surprised, I had a lot of fun with it. It was about Night Owl and Dr. Manhattan, and there's others about the other characters. Have not read it. Then we have Watchmen. Fantastic book. I try to read that once a year. Superman, Space Age. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. I don't think I'll reread it anytime soon. Batman Court of Owls, which I own the omnibus for the new 52 run. It's good. Batman One Bad Day, and that's the Riddler story. I did enjoy that. Superman Red Son, I just did a video about that book last week, so go watch that if you haven't. Then we have V for Vendetta. I read half of it. I don't know. It was okay. Mr. Miracle. I would like to reread this one. I read it a few years ago when I got into comics, and I don't know. I don't remember much about it. Superman, Secret Origin. That was a fun book. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Super excited for that Absolute whenever that gets released in a year or two. I will be getting that. And we have Batman Year One. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know. Sue me. Long Halloween trade paperback. Dark Victory trade paperback. Then we have the Hush trade paperback. Batman Ego and Other Tales. I don't know. I did not love it, to be honest. Dark Knight Returns. That's another one. I don't know. I had trouble enjoying it. I don't know. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for not thinking it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I just did not. Then we have Gotham Academy. That one, I had fun with. Don't really remember it, though. Justice League Dark. Same thing. Had fun with it. Don't remember. Kingdom Come. That's one I got to reread. It has Alex Ross artwork, so it's pretty solid. Okay, and then we have the bottom shelf here, which I'm going to sit down for. All right. So we have Black Hammer, library editions 1 through 3. I read 1 and 2. Did not read 3 yet. I will eventually. And then we have Deadly Class by Rick Remender, all 4 big deluxe editions. I will be honest. I don't know. I don't love the super oversized Rick Remender image books. I don't know. I just think it's overkill. Like, I'd much rather have kind of the standard size image deluxe for these. But I think I'm in the minority there, which is fine. American Splendor, Harvey Pekar, great. I love the movie, and this is, it's a lot of fun. Y the Last Man, good series. This is a series I kind of forget I read, honestly, but I remember enjoying it. Preacher, one of my favorite series, love it. I have to collect the rest in absolute. Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I remember enjoying it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll reread it eventually. Then we have Sandman. I read, I think, the first 2, or maybe, I know I read the first one for sure. I don't know if I read the second one, but I don't know. I think I'm in the minority with Sandman. Like, it's okay, but it just seems too pretentious to me, and I don't know. Not crazy about it. The artwork I really dig, though, and the world, I guess, that's set up with Sandman, and I do like that, but I don't know. The stories are like, which I think I'm in the minority. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you think. And I do have another shelf over there that I think I will do a video on next time. This video took longer than expected. I was going to combine them, but I guess I'll just do a separate video eventually covering that bookshelf. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks, guys.